Have a nice day. Today is Tuesday, 19th of November 2024. International Men's Day is celebrated annually on 19 November to honor men's contributions to society, family, and community. It aims to promote positive male role models, address men's health and well-being, and highlight issues like mental health, toxic masculinity, and gender equality. From the history point of view, in New Delhi, our National Integration Day, celebrated every year on November 19, marks the birth anniversary of Indira Gandhi, the first woman Prime Minister of India. National Integration Day. Now, starting the newspaper with the world news, Hezbollah Lebanon agree to cease fire with Israel amid escalating tensions. Report Trump nominations former Congressman Sean Duffy as Transportation Secretary. Thousands together to protest New Zealand's indigenous rights bill marched to Parliament. United States Senate committee to investigate suspected Chinese hacking incidents. United States envoy expected to Beirut for ceasefire talks aimed at escalating Lebanon-Israel tensions. Prime Minister Modi meets Joe Biden at a G20 summit in Brazil, highlights India's development efforts. Now, from the Hindu newspaper, India United Kingdom to relaunch its trade talks New Year Starmer. Britain's Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer attends a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the sidelines of the G20 summit at the Museum of Modern Art in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Talks have dragged on with over 14 rounds of trade talks that have outlasted two United Kingdom prime ministers. In the end, United Kingdom have decided to relaunch discussions to conclude a free trade deal in the new year, following the election of new Labour government in the United Kingdom. The announcement of the imminent resumption of talks, which began in 2022 during the Boris Johnson Conservative government, was announced by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer following a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Rio de Janeiro on fringes of the G20 summit. Global South hit by food, fuel, fertilizer crisis due to conflicts. Prime Minister Modi at G20 summit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the United States President Joe Biden and President of Brazil Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva during the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Monday 18, 2024. In address on first day of G20 summit, Prime Minister Modi compliments the Brazilian presidency of the grouping for taking forward decisions taken at New Delhi summit and highlighted the center's various schemes. The countries of the global south are most adversely impacted by the food, fuel, and fertilizer crisis caused by global conflicts, and the G20 must give primacy to their concerns and priorities, Prime Minister Modi said on Monday, November 18, 2024. In an address on the first day of the G20 summit, Mr. Modi complimented the Brazilian presidency of the grouping for taking forward the people-centric decisions taken at the Bloc's summit in New Delhi last year. Divided G20 fails to agree on climate. Ukraine. Climate activists from the Glasgow Action Team projected a message with an appeal for the taxation of the super rich on a building during the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, November 18, 2024. The risk of an escalation in the war in Ukraine and the prospect of the return of United States President-elect Trump isolationist America First policies are also dominated the talks in Brazil. G20 leaders failed on Monday, November 18, 2024 to break a deadlock in United Nations climate talks at a summit in Rio that was dominated by divergences over the war in Ukraine and Donald Trump's impending return to the White House. Ahead of the meeting, the United Nations had implored the leaders of the world's richest economies to rescue stalled climate talks in Azerbaijan by boosting funding for developing countries struggling with the global warming. According to the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that conference of party experts warn of health impact of Delhi's air crisis. Delhi NCR can expect to record a major spike in visitors to emergency rooms in hospitals due to the severe air pollution in the region. Physicians said on Monday on the sidelines of the Conference of Party 29. and anti-smog gun sprinklers water in the Connaught Place on Monday. Dr. Courtney Howard, a vice chair of the Global Climate and Health Alliance, said the high pollution levels in Delhi will hit people with breathing disorders the hardest. With the pollution levels we see in the Delhi, we can expect emergency visits of the people with breathing problems, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. People may be coming in with the chest pain due to the heart attack, strokes made worse by higher levels of air pollution. On a chronic basis, it does not increase risk to newborns, she said, responding to a question on how air pollution levels could impact the health of people. According to the State of Global Air 2024, around 8.1 million deaths worldwide in 2021 were attributable to air pollution, of which 2.1 million were in India alone. The World Bank estimates that air pollution has cost the globe an estimated $8.1 trillion in 2019, equivalent to 6.1% of the global GDP. As unrest rages, several MLAs skipped Manipur CM-led meeting. Assam Rifles officers at Lelopai in Churachandpur district of Manipur on Monday, that is yesterday. A crucial meeting of the National Democratic Alliance called by Manipur Chief Minister N. Byron Singh on Monday evening saw significant absences, with only 27 of 45 MLAs attending in person and one joining virtually, highlighting growing fissures with the ruling coalition as the state grapples with a fresh wave of ethnic violence. The meeting produced a strongly worded 7-point resolution that called for immediate action on multiple fronts. According to the document seen by Hindustan Times, the ruling MLAs demanded the central review its November 14 re-imposition of the Armed Forces Special Power Act (APSPA) and ordered mass operation against Kuki militants allegedly responsible for killing 6 Meitei family members in Jiribam. Elon Musk's SpaceX launched the ISRO's communication satellite GSAT-N2 into the space. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket with the GSAT-20 satellite broad launched from the Launch Complex 48 at NASA Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral on November 18, 2024. GSAT-N2 launch. Elon Musk-owned SpaceX successfully launched the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO's communication satellite GSAT-N2 from Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida on Tuesday. The advanced communication satellite was launched using SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. Radhakrishna Dureraj, chairman and managing director of the New Space India Limited, the commercial arm of the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, told NDTV that the GSAT-N2 or GSAT-20 has been placed in the precise orbit. What is GSAT-N2? The GSAT-N2 is communication satellite jointly developed by ISRO's Satellite Center and Liquid Propulsion System Center with 48 Gbps data transmission capacity. This high throughput satellite will enhance broadband services and provide in-flight connectivity nationwide. Now, going towards the economy of the country from the banking and finance point of view, need affordable bank interest rates to support industry building capacities. Speaking at the 11th State Bank of India Banking and App Economics Conclave, Sitharaman said that despite moderation in certain domestic economic indicators, there was no cause for concern. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman releases commemorative coins during the centenary celebration of the main branch of the State Bank of India in Mumbai on Monday. Emerging India Focus Funds settles FPI rules violation case. The settlement came after the applicant filed an application with the SEBI proposing to settle the proceedings initiated against it without admitting or denying the findings of fact and conclusions of law through a settlement order. SEBI initiated adjudication proceedings against the applicant and issued a show cause notice in the February month for the illegal violation of FPI regulations and intermediaries regulations. GDP growth took decline to 6.8% this fiscal, says Christie. According to the rating firm, food prices should start easing at least sequentially in the second half of this fiscal, given the healthy monsoon season. Rating agency Crystal has said real GDP growth is likely to moderate to 6.8% in financial year 2025 from 8.2% in the financial year 2024, with the high interest rates and lower fiscal impulse owing to a reduction in the fiscal deficit weighing on growth. The growth estimate is lower than the 7.2% growth estimated by Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee earlier last month. Now going towards science and tech, Amazon and Elon Musk SpaceX challenge labor agencies constitutionality in federal court. The three appellate judges who heard Monday's argument questioned the legal maneuvering by Amazon and SpaceX to get their cases to the Fifth Circuit. Attorneys for Amazon and Elon Musk's SpaceX have argued in the federal appeals court that the National Labor Relations Board's structure is unconstitutional. Attorneys for Amazon and Elon Musk's SpaceX argued in the federal appeals court Monday that the National Labor Relations Board's structure is unconstitutional, advancing a legal fight that may last into the Trump administration, where Musk is expected to oversee bureaucratic cost cutting. A panel of three judges at the Fifth United States Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans heard separate oral arguments in the SpaceX and Amazon lawsuits, which the two companies initiated after the labor agency filed complaints against them in disputes about the workers' right and union organizing. A ruling in favor of the companies could immensely diminish or paralyze the nearly century-old agency, which is tasked with enforcing labor laws and settling labor-related complaints workers lodge against their employers. The issue may eventually reach the United States Supreme Court, which has conservative majority and has issued ruling curbing the power of government agencies. The three appellate judges who had Monday's arguments questioned the legal maneuvering by Amazon and SpaceX to get their cases to the Fifth Circuit, while jurists nominated by Republican presidents dominate the appeals court. Delhi hospitals see a spike in patients with respiratory issues. A view of All India Institute of Medical Science hospital covering in smog as the air quality index AQI reaches to several categories as per the Central Pollution Control Board CPCB in New Delhi. Pulmonologists in Delhi said the number of patients complaining of respiratory issues has gone up significantly in the past 3 to 4 days. Delhi's Environment Minister Gopal Rai on Monday, November 18, 2024 said he has ordered the Health Department to form a special task force at Lok Nayak Hospital to handle the medical emergencies related to pollution. The direction came as worsening air quality led to a rise in the number of patients complaining of respiratory issues across the city hospitals. Water pollutant detective device RO-Track. RO-Track device developed by IIT Bombay. The device used a protein-based biosensor to detect harmful pollutants like phenol and benzene from the water samples. In a significant development of sustainable environment management, scientists at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, have introduced RO-Track, an economical and portable device to accurately detect harmful pollutants such as phenol or benzene in the water. Scientists claim that the device can be a game changer given the increasing water pollution due to the industrialization, urbanization, and unregulated effluent discharge. RO-Track device uses proteins typically found in bacteria living in heavily polluted environments to effectively identify multiple aromatic pollutants in the water. Once mixed in the water sample, the protein undergoes a highly selective ATP hydrolysis chemical reaction if an aromatic compound is present in the sample. This reaction is expressed with a change in the color of the protein solution, which RO-Track can then detect. This device is highly robust and compact, measuring slightly smaller than a smaller projector. Professor Ruchi Anand from the Department of Chemistry, Professor Rajdeep Bandyopadhyaya from the Department of Chemical Engineering and their team at IIT Bombay introduced a simple and affordable biosensing device capable of detecting harmful compounds such as phenol, benzene, and xyloronus. At last, there's a famous quotation by a famous president who is known by his famous full name, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Nelson Mandela, born on 18th of July 1918 after 5 December 2013, was a South African anti-apartheid activist and a politician who served as the first president of the South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black-haired president of the state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by fostering racial reconciliation. Ideologically an African nationalist and socialist, he served as the president of the African National Congress ANC party from 1991 to 1997. Mandela was a controversial figure for much of his life, although critics on the right denounced him as a communist terrorist, and those on the far left deemed him too eager to negotiate and reconcile with the apartheid supporters. He gained international acclaim for his activism. Globally regarded as the icon of the democracy and social justice, he received more than 250 honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize. He is held in the deep respect of the South African, why he is often referred to as his Tambo clan name, Madiba, and described as the father of the nation. Nelson Mandela says a very famous quotation. He says that a good head and a good heart are always formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate tongue or a pen, then you have something very special. Okay, thank you.